everyone, this is Bernice from the learning team at Monti Kids. I'm here today to speak with you guys about decluttering, setting up your child's play space, and how the two will work hand in hand to best support your child's development. So having a decluttered space and an organized play space for your child is really great for your child's development and their brain development as well in the first couple years of their life. It's this idea that external order creates internal order. So when a child is presented with a play space that is orderly, they will be able to create their own internal order. We get a lot of questions from families that live in small apartments, perhaps in a big city, or they just have a small space, about if they can actually set up their child's play space in these tiny areas, and the answer is yes. The magic of these areas is that all you really need is a low shelf. So here we have kind of your traditional real low shelf. Low shelves can also be found in many different forms. We have low shelves in our home already, perhaps the bottom shelf of a bookshelf that you already have in your area, maybe a low cabinet that you've unhinged the door and used the bottom shelf there. The most important thing is that it's a low shelf or a low something that allows you to place your toys at your child's eye level. The first step to setting up your child's play space is finding an area in your home that works best for you and your family. Here we've chosen to set this play space up in our living room, but I've seen many families choose to do this perhaps in the kitchen area, maybe in the child's room or in a play space or in an office if you work from home. A big thing to remember is that children like to be part of the community. It'll be really helpful for you as well because you'll be able to do your things, your work, your cooking, whatever it is around the house while your child's working independently. So when we start with our shelf, now that we have our play space, we're only going to put out between 6 to 8 toys at once. We do this again to help support your child's sense of order, to help them create that internal order, and to help them really focus on the work and the play that they're doing. So you can see my play space now. I have 8 toys out, including these 2 baskets over here, and then the tracker right here behind me. What's really interesting too is that I have toys from a variety of levels in Monti Kids' level. It's because they will grow with your child, and when we're rotating toys in and out of our rotation, we're doing that based on our child's skills and their interests. And those will change as they grow and develop. And because children have this strong sense of order, changing up everything all at once and kind of a big surprise can be a little bit scary. So I recommend just maybe changing 1 or 2, perhaps after a nap time, and then you can, with your child, show them the new toy that's out and kind of do that with them so that it's not this big sudden change and they can transition to that smoothly. We like to leave toys out for this, a week or 2 weeks because children will thrive when giving opportunities to repeat with their toys. So if we rotate toys out too quickly, we're not actually giving them an opportunity to repeat and master those skills. So now that you guys know about this idea of toy rotation, I think we should also talk about what kinds of toys we have out in our child's play space. And this is essentially the play space where they're working, they're doing lots of brain stimulation and hard work that will really support their development. So in this play space, we want purposeful toys that are meeting their developmental needs at just the right time in their development. In the toy world, there's 2 big categories of toys. These are known as active toys and passive toys. Active toys, they tend to be more plasticky, bright, flashy, and these toys we call active because they're already activated. Essentially, your child just presses a button and they sit back and they're entertained. So they're not really working through anything and using their hands and getting any of that big brain stimulation. Passive toys, on the other hand, such as the toys that you see on this shelf, these are toys that need to be activated by a child, and during that process of activation is when the children really get big brain stimulation and growth. So we get a lot of questions about books, music instruments, and I highly recommend having both in your environment. For books, you can create a little basket with books and either keep those as one of your toys on the shelf or have a little reading nook area in your home. And again, just 6 to 8 and rotating them the same way that you did the toys on the shelf. The same can go for music instruments too. I have 3 here on the shelf that are self-contained in a basket, and so that is one of your 6 to 8 toys on the shelf as well. We get a lot of questions in Montessori about trays. Why are there always trays and activities? And this can go for trays and baskets, the same kind of thing. Why are there trays? Why are baskets a thing in Montessori? And we love them because by using trays such as this one, which we have in Monti Kids levels, We are helping to support your child's sense of order by grouping things together, by containing that whole activity and that whole toy on one tray. I also really like this because these trays are the perfect size for maybe your new walker who's still perhaps a little bit wobbly on their feet but becoming a confident walker, to pick up a tray from the shelf and go walk to an area where they're going to work. Toy rotation, when you have 6 to 8 toys out, this doesn't mean that you go and throw all of your other toys away. Those can actually be kept in some kind of closet or an area where you can kind of have easy access to them when you'll re-rotate them back in. But this will also help with that idea of decluttering, right? Because you know exactly where your child's toys are, ones that you'll want to reintroduce later. With Monti Kids, we send toys in a big box, and then in each big box, you have these tiny boxes with a picture of the toy that comes in it. We've heard from a lot of our families that they find this really helpful because you could just put this in a closet and see exactly which toy it is from the outside and know to put that in the rotation. We also have these little dust bags, which can be a great way to store the toys, the rings in the toys, the balls that you have from the different toys. And again, just to kind of support that idea of decluttering and organization that will ultimately support you and your child. As a team of educators, it means so much to us to have this opportunity to support you and your child. If you have any other questions or if we can help support you, please do not hesitate to reach out to us.